Hello guys, welcome to this mathematics class. In the course of today's class, we are going to be creating indices. Please note that this class is being brought to you by Enugu West Academy. It is an educational initiative that is being sponsored by Senator Ositangu, which focused on providing free JAMB lessons, CBT training, skill acquisition program, and potential scholarship for students in Enugu West. All these aim to boost academic excellence and progress of the students who will be writing or sitting for any exam, be it JAMB, WAEC, and NECO, etc. Now,
I'm going to explain some things you need to know in indices before we enter into calculations. Okay. We have the first thing is index notation. Index notation. Index notation is the method of shortening the product of numbers of equal factors or numbers that are the same. The method of shortening the product of numbers of equal factors or numbers that are the same. Now look at this. If I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now instead of me writing this 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, here is where this index notation comes in. Now since I have 2 all through, since I have 2, 2, 2 all through, I will just pick 1, 2. Now how many 2 are in this line? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's going to be what? 2 raised to power 6. It will be what? 2 raised to power 6. Also, if you have 5 times 5 times 5. Now, since I have 5, I have 5 and I also have what? 5. I'm going to have what? 5. How many 5 do we have? 1, 2, 3. It will be 5 raised to power 3. Similarly, if you have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Now, if you look at this, you notice that we have 2 and we have what? 3. Now, remember, index notation only focus on shortening the product of numbers that are what? The same. So, I'm going to have, since I have 2, I'll write 2. How many 2? 1, 2, 3. It will be 2 raised to power 3 times. Now, here I have 3. I will write 1, 3. Now, how many 3 are there? We have 1, 2. To what? 3 raised to power 2. So the act of shortening the product of numbers is called what? Index notation. Now, this 6 that you are seeing here is called what? Index. It is also called what? Power. And the same 6 is also called what? Exponent. Also called what? Exponent. Now, these 2 is what we call the base. We call it what? The base. So someone can say what? 2 power 6, 2 indices, 2 exponent what? 6. Then this 2 is called what? The base. So indices is the application of what? Mathematical what? Concept on the what? Exponent. So now let's enter into the laws of what? Indices. We have various laws of indices. And please do pay attention in these laws. Now we have laws of indices. We have laws of indices. Now, the first law is called multiplication law. Now, in this law, if you have m raised to power 2 times m raised to power 3, m raised to power 2 times m raised to power 3. Please, I'm going to cool down to explain these laws because you need to know these laws. You need to understand everything about these what? Laws of what? Indices. Just pay attention. Now, m raised to power 2 times m raised to power 3. Now, this will be equals to, now remember, since we have m and we have what? M. If you can remember the index notation. Now, we're going to have 1m. Now, what is here is what? 2, power 2. You write power 2. Now, in multiplication law, it said that what? This sign, which is what? The multiplication sign, will change to what? Addition. You will add the powers. You will add the what? Powers together, provided that they are the same numbers. Like we have m times m. So you will pick 1m. Now you will not add what? The powers. You will not say 2 plus 3. So which will give us m raised to power 5. Which will give us what? M raised to power 5. Look at this also. If I have 2 raised to power 3 times 2 raised to power 5. Now I'm going to have to be equals to, since I have 2 and I have 2, you pick 1, 2. Now what is the power? We have power 3 as the first thing. This will change to what? Addition. You put that addition. But the addition only works in the what? Power. Then plus what? 5. So this will give us what? 2 raised to power 8. 2 raised to power what? 8. So that is what? Multiplication law. Now the second one is called what? Division law. If we have m raised to power 5 divided by m raised to power 2. Now, in this division law, this division sign is going to change to what? Subtraction. It will change to what? Subtraction. Now, this will be equals to, since we have m and we have what? M, write 1m. Now, what is the first power? It is power 5. Now, this division will change to what? Subtraction, which is minus. What is the next power? 2. So this will be equals to m. Now, 5 minus 2 is what? Will give us what? 3. So what? M raised to power 3. Now, look at this also. If you have 3 raised to power 5 divided by 3 raised to power 2. Now, since we have 3, we have 3. We pick 1, 3. What is the first power? Power 5. Division changes to what? Subtraction, minus 2. This will give us what? 3 raised to power 3. Now, the third law is called what? Power law. We call it what? Power law. If we have m raised to power 2 in brackets raised to power 3. Now, this will be equals to, once you open the bracket, the power inside will times the power what? Outside. So once you open the bracket, you're going to have what? 2 times 3. And that will give us what? M will be what? 6. M power 6. M power 6. So we call it what? Power law. We call it what? Power law. Now, for instance, if you have 2 raised to power 4 raised to power 2. Now, once you open the bracket, you are going to have 4 times 2, which will give us what? 2 raised to power 8. We call it what? Power law. We call it what? Power law. Now, the next one is called zero index. Zero index. Zero index. Now, this one, if you have m raised to power 0, it will be what? 1. Anything raised to power 0 is what? 1. Anything raised to power 0 is what? 1. Whether 100 billion raised to power 0, 2 billion raised to power 0, anything raised to power 0 is what? 1. So we call it what? Zero index. Now we have the fifth law. We call it what? Product power law. Product power law. Now if you have 2x, y, z, all raised to power 3. Now if you have to open this bracket, please have this in mind. This is called product power law. Product power law. Now, once you open this bracket, you are going to have these 3. Everything inside this bracket, they all have share in this power 3. they all have share in this what? Power 3. So if once you open this bracket, you are going to have 2 raised to power 3, x raised to power 3, y raised to power 3, and z raised to power 3. So we call it what? Product power law. Product power law. Now we have the sixth law. This sixth law, we call it what? Negative index. Negative index. Negative index. Also, you can call it what? Reciprocal law. Negative index, or you can call it what? Reciprocal law. Now, if you have, okay, let's make use of this place. Okay, the sixth law. Now, if you have m raised to power minus 1, m raised to power minus 1, this will be equals to what? 1 over m. This will be equal to what? 1 over m. Now, let me explain with number. If you have 2 raised to power minus 1, please, 2 raised to power minus 1, this will be equals to, now please see how this thing works. This power minus will change to what? 1 over. Now what is the number that is here? 2. Hope you are following. If I have 10 raised to power minus 1, this will be equals to what? This minus power minus will be what? 1 over. What is the number that is here? 10 to 1 over what? 10 to what? 1 over 10. Now, let's assume that we don't have 1 here and we don't have 1 here. We have 2, 3, 4. Now, see how it works. You are going to have what? If I have 2 raised to power minus 2, it will be equals to what? 1. Remember, the minus will change to what? 1 over. What is here is 2. What is the number that is here? Raised to power 2. Now, pay attention. Now, this 2 raised to power minus 1, you are going to write this power minus will change to what? 1 over. What the number that is here is 2. Then this 1, you write the 1 here, but we know that anything raised to power 1 is still that thing. That's why I'm having 1 over 2. Supposed to be what? 1 over 2 raised to power 1. But because anything raised to power 1 is still that particular what? 10. Now, 10 raised to power minus 1 is equals to what? 1 over what? 10. Once it is raised to power minus 1, just write what? 1 over that particular what? Number. But if you have a 10 raised to power minus 3, it will be equals to, the power minus will change to what? 1 over. Now, you write 10 raised to power 3. Just like this particular what? 2 raised to power minus 2. We are having what? 1. The power minus will change to 1 over this 2 raised to power 2. So we call it what? Negative index or reciprocal law. So we have the 7th law. So the 7th law is called what? Root power. Root power. Root power. Now, in this root power, if we have m raised to power 1 over 2, this will be equals to m raised to power 1 over 2. Now, please, m raised to power 1 over 2, the power there is what? 1 over 2. Now, you are going to find the root. For you to find the root using the fractional power, you focus on the what? Denominator. Let me say it again. For you to find the root, you are going to use from what? This what? Fractional power. You focus on what? On the denominator. What is here is what? 2. So it means we are going to have what? Square root of what? M. Now, if we have m raised to power 1 over 3, for us to find the root, what is here is what? 3. It will not be what? Third root of m, or you say what? Cube root of what? M. So you're going to have what? Cube root of what? M. Now, if you have m raised to power 1 over 4, it will be equals to, now remember I say what? You focus on what? The denominator of the fractional power. What is here is 4. It becomes what? Fourth root of what? M. Fourth root of what? M. Now, for instance, let's use number. If I have 4 raised to power 1 over 2. 4 raised to power 1 over 2 means what is here is 2. It means square root of what? 4. If I have 27 raised to power 1 over 3, because you are seeing 3, it becomes what? Third root or cube root of what? 27. It becomes what? Cube root of what? 27. Now, if I have let me just say 32 raised to power 1 over 5, it means it will what? Since we are having 5, it will what? Fifth root. Fifth root of what? 32. So this is what we call what? Root power. Root power. Now, square root of 4 is what? Square root of 4. Now, in this square root of 4, it means you should what? Look for two numbers. If you multiply them together, it will give you 4. Those two numbers you can think of, once you multiply them, they will give you what? 4. Once you get that number, just pick one of the number. It is what? The square root of what? 4. The square root of 4 is what? 2 times 2, which will give us what? 4. You write 1, 2. Only 1, 2. Now, cube root of 27 means you should look for 3 numbers. Please always know that those numbers must be what? The same. Cube root of 27 means what? 3 numbers. If you multiply them, they will give you what? 27. 3 numbers. Now, if you check 2 times 2, it's 4 times 2, 8. It's not up to 27. Now, if you now check 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 to give you 27. So it means that the cube root of 27 is what? 3. Is what? 3. It is what? 3. Now, we have 32 raised to power 1 over 5, which is what? Fifth root of 32. Now, it means 5 numbers, if you multiply them, they will give you what? 32. Are there any 5 like number you multiply 5 times, they will give you what? 32. Now, let's start with 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, times the last 2 is what? 32. To mean that it is what? 2. Look at this one also. Cube root of 125. Cube root of 125 means what? You should what? Get a number. If you multiply that number 3 times, it will give you what? 125. Now, let's start with 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. It is not what? 2. Let's go to 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3, 27. It's not what? Up to what? 125. Now, 4 times 4 is what? 16. 16 times 4 is 64. It's still not up to what? 125. Now, 5 times 5 is 25 times the next 5 to give us 125. Means that the cube root of 125 is what? 5. So that is how to determine what? The root of what? Numbers. The root of what? Numbers. Now, the last one is called fractional power. Fractional power or fractional index. Now, that is the 8th law. So the 8th law is called what? Fractional power or fractional law. Now, it is the same thing with root power. Just that the difference is that the numerator is not 1. It's not what? 1. Now, for instance, look at this. If we have m raised to power 1 over 2, sorry, m raised to power 3 over 2. If we have m raised to power 3 over 2, now this will be equals to, now remember, in determining the roots, we make use of what? Denominator of the fractional power. So we are going to have square root of what? M. Now, do you notice that what we have here is 3? It's not 1. If it is 1, you leave it like this. But once it is what? Bigger than 1. Something like if you have 2, you have 3. Then you must what? Put what? A bracket. And you write the 3 outside. Hope you are following. Now look at this. If you have 27 raised to power 3, okay, just say 2 over 3. 2 over 3. Now, this 3, remember I told you what? In getting the root, you work with what? Denominator of the fractional power. So you're going to have what? Cube root of what? 27. All raised to power what? 2. All raised to power 2. So, which will be equals to, what is the cube root of 27? We know that it is what? 3. You have what? 3. Now, this one that is outside will be here. So now 3 raised to power 2 means 3 times 3, which will give us what? 9. So we call this what? Fractional law, or fractional power, or fractional what? Index. So this is all about what? The various laws of what? Indices. So we are going to enter into what? Calculations. So JAMB calculations. So we are going to get some JAMB questions and we go through them one by one. We are done with the various laws of indices, and we are going to dive into calculation. But before that, please do subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification, because more and more videos are going to be released. Now, we are going to focus on JAMB past questions. JAMB past questions. So, evaluate 16 Okay, here are the options. We have A is 1 over 3, B is 1 over 5, C is 1 over 2, D is 1 over 7. So we are asked to evaluate 16 raised to power 3 over 4 times 4 raised to power 1 over 2 over 8 raised to power 5 over 3. Now this is very simple. Now, solution. Now we have 16 raised to power 3 over 4. Now remember what I told you. In determining the roots, we make use of what? Denominator of the fractional power, which is what? 4. So this means what? 4th root of 16. So you're going to have what? Remember to what? Put what? 4. Which is what? 4th root of what? 16. Raised to power what? 3. Remember I told you that as long as you're not seeing 1 here, you must what? Put it what? You must what? Introduce what? A bracket. Now, times. Now look at this one. We have 4 raised to power 1 over 2. Now, since we have 2 here, it's going to be what? Square root of what? 4. We are not going to put any what? Bracket, because we are just having what? 1. So, now remember the reason why we have this bracket is because we are having what? 3 at the numerator. If we have 1, there will be no bracket. Remember that. Now here, this will be 3rd root of 8. That is what? 3rd root, or you say what? Cube root of 8. Of 8. Raised to power what? 5. Raised to power 5. Raised to power 5. Now, so this is going to be what? Now, what is the 4th root of 16? 4th root of 16. What are the numbers? If you multiply them what? 4 times, they will give us what? 16. Now, if we check 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2, 8. Times 2, 16. Meaning that the 4th root of 16 is what? 2. So it will be 2 raised to power 3 times the 4th root of 16 is 2. That is this 2 raised to power 3. Now times, what is square root of 4? Is just what? 2 over cube root of 8. What is the cube root of 8? Cube root of 8. Cube root of 8 is what? That is what? 3 numbers. Once you multiply them, that is a number. Once you multiply that number 3 times, it will give us what? 8. If you say 2 times 2 times 2, that is what? 8. We're going to have what? 2 raised to power 5. So this will be equals to, now 2 raised to power 3 is what? That is 2 times 2 times 2, which is what? 8 times what? 2 over 2 raised to power 5 is what? 32. If you say 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, it will give you what? 32. Now, so 8 times 2 is what? Is 16 over what? 8 times 2 is 16 over the 32 over what? 32. So looking at this, we are going to have, if 16 cancel itself, we have what? 1. Going to 32, we have what? 2. So our answer is what? 1 over 2. And that is option C. Now, for those that will be confused on how we got 1 over 2, if you have 16 over 32, let's divide it to the lowest term. If 2 go here, we have 8. 2 go here, we have what? 16. If 2 go here, we have 4. 2 go here, we have what? 8. If 2 go here, we have 2. 2 go here, we have what? 4. If 2 go here, we have 1. 2 go here, we have what? 2. That is the lowest term. So the answer is what? 1 over 2. So we have question 2. Simplify 25 raised to power minus 1 over 2 times 27 raised to power 1 over 3 plus 121 raised to power minus 1 over 2 times 625 raised to power minus 1 over 4. This is also very simple. Very simple. So, yes, I believe we have options. We have options. So, here are our options. So, option A. Option A is 27 over 44. B is what? 39 over 55. C is what? 34 over 55. Then D is what? 11 over 45. So this is our options. So let's dive into it. So solution. Now, 25 raised to power minus 1 over 2. Remember, 25 raised to power minus that minus I told you about. So you are going to have 1 over. Then you now have what? 25 raised to power what? 1 over 2. Hope you are following. If you have 2 raised to power minus 1 over 5, you write what? 1 over. That is the minus return to 1 over. You write this 2. Then you write power 1 over 5. That is what I just did here. Now, times, we have 27 raised to power 1 over 3. So let's just leave it. We'll attend to that later. 1 over 3. Plus, now here we equally have minus. So we're going to have 1 over 1, 2, 1. Raised to power what? 1 over 2. The minus changes to 1 over 1, 2, 1 raised to power 1 over 2. Times, here we're going to have what? Are you seeing the minus again? We're going to have 1 over 6, 2, 5 raised to power 1 over 4. Raised to power what? 1 over 4. So this will be equals to, hope you are following. Now, we're going to have 1 over. Now, 25 raised to power 1 over 2. Now, let's find the root. Since we have 2, it's going to be what? Square root of what? 25. Remember, we are not going to put brackets because we have what? 1 times. So here, we're going to have 27 raised to power 1 over 3 means cube root of 27. So we're going to have what? Cube root of what? 27. So we can balance it over 1. Now, plus. Now, we're going to have 1 over. Now, 121 raised to power 1 over 2 means what? Square root of 121. So we are going to have what? Square root of what? 121 times. We are going to have 1 over. Now, hope you are seeing the 4. Now it will be what? Fourth root of what? 624. 625. Fourth root of 625. Fourth root of what? 625. Now, let me clean here. So, do this. Okay. Now let's do this. We're going to have 1 over. What is square root of 25? We know it is 5. We have 5 times. Now, what is the, sorry, here is cube root. That is cube root of what? 27. Now, cube root of 27 is what? We know that it is what? 3 over 1. Now, plus, see the plus? 1 over. What is the square root of 121? We know that it is 11. Square root of 121 is 11 times 1 over. What is the fourth root of 625? It is what? 5. 5 times 5, 25 times 5 is what? 125. 125 times another 5 will give us what? 625 is what? 5. So now 1 times 3. Now remember there is plus here, so don't be confused. 1 times 3 is what? 3 over 5 times 1 is what? 5. Now we have plus 1 times 1 is what? 1. 11 times 5 is what? 55. Is 55. So here comes what? Addition of what? Fractions. Addition of what? Fraction. I believe we all can do this. Now this will be equals to. Now we are going to look for the LCM of 5 and what? 55. LCM of what? 5 and what? 55. So the LCM of 5 and 55 is what? 55. The LCM of 5 and 55 is what? 55. So 55 divided by 5 will give us what? 11. 11 times 3 is that 3. You put your plus. 55 divided by 55 will give us 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So which will give us what? 33 plus 1 is what? 34 over what? 55. So in our option, we have 34 over what? 55. So C, option C is the correct answer. Now please pay attention. In case you are confused here, the LCM of 5 and 55 is what? 55. Now 55 divided by 5 will give you 11. 11 times 3 will give you what? 33. You put plus. Now this 55 divided by this 55 will give you what? 1. That 1 times this 1 will still give you what? 1, which will be equals to 33 plus 1 is 34 over 55. So option C is the correct answer. So let's go to JAMB question 3. Over to JAMB question 3. And this is 1998 JAMB question. So we are going to have solution. Now we have 8, evaluate 8 raised to power 1 over 3 times 5 raised to power 2 over 3 over 10 raised to power 2 over 3. This is very simple. Now, see what we're going to do now. Cube root of 8. We have cube root of 8. Cube root of 8 times. Now, but we don't have cube root of 5. We don't have what? Cube root of 5. So we will still maintain 5 raised to power 2 over 3. And also, there is nothing we can do to split 5. 5 will always remain 5. So we're going to have equals to. Now, we have 10 raised to power 2 over 3. But we don't have cube root of 10. We don't have what? Cube root of 10. But can we split 10? Yes. We can have what? 2 times 5. So we're going to have what? 2 times 5. All raised to power what? 2 over 3. 2 times 5 is the 10. That's why it is inside the bracket. Raised to power 2 over 3. Remember the product power law. Product power law. So we're going to have cube root of 8 is what? 2 times. You have 5 raised to power 2 over 3. all divided by. Now, remember that product power law. These two will have share in this, 5 will also have share in this. So we're going to have 2 raised to power 2 over 3 times 5 raised to power 2 over 3. Now, by me looking at this, you can cancel. Then you'll be left with what? 2 over what? 2 raised to power 2 over 3. 5 raised to power 2 over 3 can also eliminate what? 5 raised to power 2 over 3. So just cancel. Now you'll be left with what? 2 over this what? 2 raised to power 2 over 3. Now, so this will be equals to. Now, remember the division law. It states that what? Once you have what? The same numbers, you should what? Subtract their powers. So this also means 2 divided by 2 raised to power 2 over 3. Now, this will be equals to, since we have 2, you are going to write 1, 2. Now remember, the first two have power 1. The first two have what? Power 1. You're going to have 1. Division changes to what? Subtraction. Then you are going to have what? 2 over 3. You're going to have what? 2 over 3. Now, remember what I did? 2, 2. Pick 1, 2. The first two have power 1. It have what? Power 1. Now, if someone asks you 2 times 2, 2 times 2, you can say what? It is what? 2 raised to power 1 plus 1. There is 1 and 1 on top of them. Now, so this will be equals to 2. Now, let's work on these powers. The LCM of 1 and 3 is what? 3. The LCM of 1 and 3 is what? 3. Now, 3 divided by 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. You put minus. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So which will give us what? 2 raised to power what? 3 minus 2 is 1 over 3. So we have what? 2 raised to power 1 over 3. Now, but in our option, do we have any answer that is what? 2 whole number, like 2 raised to power 1 over 3? No. Now, but if you watch it closely very well, you notice that the answer is there. Now, let's put this thing into roots. This will be equals to, what is here is what? Cube root. Cube root of what? Of what? 2. So that means our option D is what? Correct. Option D is what? Correct. Now, so that is about this particular question. So let's move into JAMB question 4. Simplify this. Now, this is also very simple to do. Now, see where you're going to start. Do you see 1 over 3? Do you remember that negative index or that reciprocal law? I told you if you have 1 over 2, it's the same thing as writing 2 raised to power minus 1. If you have 1 over 3, it's the same thing as writing what? 3 raised to power minus 1. I told that this minus will turn to 1 over then 3. Do you remember the negative index? So we have 1 over 3. We can also write 3 raised to power minus 1, or in brackets raised to power x will be equals to, remember, 1 over 3 is 3 raised to power minus 1, or in brackets raised to power x is equals to. Now, ask yourself, is there any number you can raise another number to give you 27? Now, by me looking at here, we are seeing 3. It means that what here, we are also expected to have what? 3. Also that same 3. So that we can be able to what? Equate the power. Now, we can have 3 raised to power 3. 3 raised to power 3 is what? 27. Then we will now have x minus 4. 3 raised to power 3 means 3 times 3 times 3, which will give you what? 27. So we are going to look for a number that will now replace that what? 27. but it is still what? 27. Now, so we have what? X minus 4. Now, let's open the bracket. Minus 1 times x, we have minus x is equals to. Now, we have what? 3. Let's open the bracket. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. It's minus 12. Now, we are going to now say what? Now, equal base equate the power. Equate what? The power. Now, since we have equal base, just what? Equate the power. So you can say what? Here, cancel, cancel. So we are being left with minus x. Once you equate the power, means make this power to have equals to, it will now be minus x equals to 3x minus 12. So minus x is equals to 3x minus 12. 3x minus 12. Now, collect like terms. We are going to have minus x. If this 3x comes here, we'll have minus 3x is equals to, what remains here will now be what? Minus 12. Minus 12. Now, minus x minus 3x is what? Minus 4x, which is equals to minus 12. Minus x minus 3x. There is 1 that is in front of this x. Just say minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. Just put the x. So, now, we can, since we have minus, minus, we can just cancel. We will have what? 4x equals to what? 12. Now, divide both sides by the what? Coefficient of what? X, which is what? 4. So we're going to have what? 4x over 4 equals to 12 over 4. So cancel. So x is equals to what? 12 divided by 4 is 3. So x is equals to 3. So our answer is option B. Option B is our answer. So what is the product? Product is the answer you got after what? Multiplication. I have to call what? Product. So it means we are going to multiply everything that is here. It is very simple. So this will be what? Solution 81 over 5. 81 over 5 times. Now, please look at this. 1 over 5 in bracket raised to power minus 1. It means inverse. Inverse. It means what? This 5 should go up and this 1 should come down. Look at this. If you have 3 over 5 raised to power minus 1, this thing also means what? 5 over 3. Are you getting the point? It means what? 5 over 3. 5 will go up, 3 will now come down. Quite inverse. So if you have a over b all raised to power minus 1, it means what? B over a. It means what? B over a. That is inverse. Now, this will be what? 5 over 1 times. Now, 3 raised to power minus 1. We know that 1 to be what? 1 over 3. So, what are we going to do now? We're going to have what? 5 can cancel 5. We have what? 1, 1. Now, we have, okay, 81 over 3. 81 times 1 times 4 give us 81. 1 times 1 times 3 give us what? 3. So 81 divided by 3 is what? 27. And that is our final answer. So we have option B is the correct answer. So anytime you hear about products, just know it's all about what? Multiplication. Just use your brain and put everything in order. So the next question, question C. This is very, very simple to solve. Now, where are you going to start? You need to start from here. You enter here, then to this particular here, which will be the final stage. So we are going to have this will be equals to, so let's solve. You can solve it one by one. Now we're going to have 160 r raised to power 2 plus square root 71 r raised to power 4 plus, now we have square root 100 r raised to power 8. Please pay attention here. Square root 100 r raised to power 8. Remember, all of them are all inside this word square root, this particular square root. Now we are going to have square root. What is the number 100? We are going to have what? Square root what? 100. Then we're going to have times. We have r raised to power 8. We're going to have r raised to power 8 times 1 over 2. So I know some of you be asking, this 1 over 2 is coming from where? Okay. Now, we can do square root of 100. We can do square root of what? 100. Writing square root of what? 100, like this. Now, if you are going to do for alphabet, do you remember that square root means 1 over 2 or 1 over 2? Do you remember? If I have 100 raised to power 1 over 2, it means what? Square root of what? 100. Do you remember? If you have 25 raised to power 1 over 2, it means what? Square root of what? 25. So that's why I'm having this r raised to power 8 times 1 over 2. So that is the r raised to power 8 for square root. So this will be equals to 160 r square plus the second square root 71 r raised to power 4 plus, now square root 100 is what? 10. Is 10. Now 2 cancel itself is 1. Cancel 8 is what? 4. So 4 times 1 is 4. So you're going to have raised to power r raised to power 4. We're going to have what? R raised to power 4. Remember, square root 100 will give us 10. Then r raised to power 8 times 1 over 2. 2 can cancel 8, giving us what? 4. We're going to have what? R raised to power 4. So now let's continue here. So we're going to have 160 r square plus square root. Now 71 r raised to power 4 plus 10 r raised to power 4. 71 r raised to power 4 plus 10 raised to power 10 r raised to power 4. It will give us what? 81 r raised to power 4. If you add them together, it will give you what? 81 raised to power what? R power 4. 81 r power 4. Sorry, 81 r power 4. So this will be equals to 160 r square plus. Now let's make use of what? This what? Square root again. We are going to have square root what? 81. We are going to have what? Square root what? 81 times, we'll have what? R raised to power 4. Now remember, this square root 81 and r is inside the square root. So we're going to have what? Here times 1 over 2. Just like what we did here. The 100 will carry the square root. Then the alphabet will now carry what? 1 over 2 for easy simplification. Now, so we are going to have, this will be equals to 160 r square plus square root of 81 is what? 9. You have what? 9. Now, cancel itself is 1. Cancel 4 is what? 2. So we are going to have what? 9r square So we're going to have what? 9r square. 9r square. So which will be equals to, now 160r square plus 9r square will give us what? 169r square. To give us what? 169r square. Remember what I did here? We have r raised to power 4 times 1 over 2. 2 cancel itself is 1. Cancel 4 is 2. You have r raised to power 2. Now the what? 81. That is 81. Is here is 9. 9 times r. 9r square. Now, so we are now having 160r square plus that's what? 9r square. So we are going to have, now here, remember what we did again? Here will be equals to, the square root we go for 169, then the power 1 over 2 we go for what? R. So we are going to have square root 169, square root 169 times r square times 1 over 2. So we're going to have square root 169 times r square raised to power 1. That is 1 over 2 again. So square root of 169 is what? Is 13. Is 13. Now, square root of 169 is what? 13. 13 times. Now, 2 cancel itself is 1. Cancel 2 is what? 1. So we are going to have what? R raised to power 1. So which will be equals to what? 13R. And that is our final answer. So meaning that option C is what? Correct. Option C is what? Correct. So if you look at it, it is very, very simple. Just start with here. Once you are done with this one, then you add here and here. Then also follow the same process again. Once you are done with this place, add it to here. Follow the same process again. So it's very simple. So let's go to question 7. Evaluate 8 raised to power x minus 3 equals to 32 raised to power x plus 2 over 4 raised to power minus x. So anytime you are solving indices and you notice that you have equals to, have it in mind that whatever you are going to have here as the base will end up be the same thing with what you're going to have here as the base for you to be able to what? Equate the power. Now, so solution. Now, we have 8 raised to power s minus 3, 32 power s plus 2, 4 power minus x. Now, ask yourself, which number can represent 8, represent 82, and represent 4? That number must be the same number. They must all be the same number. You cannot have 3, you cannot have 5, and you come and have 6 here. They must all be the same number. So we notice that 2 can work here, 2 can work here, and 2 can work here. 2 power 3 is 8. 2 power 5 is 32. 2 power 2 is 4. So 2 can work. So let's make use of that 2. We're going to have 2 raised to power 3. 2 raised to power 3 is what will give us 8. Then you put bracket x minus 3. Hope you are following. 2 raised to power 3 is what gives us what? 8. Then we have x minus 3, which will be equals to, here is what? 2 raised to power 5. Now bracket x plus what? 2. Hope you are following. Over. Here will be what? 2 raised to power 2. Bracket minus x. Bracket minus x. So 2 raised to power 3 is 8. 2 power 5, 32. 2 power 2 is 4. So bracket minus x. So you can see them. Now, let's open the bracket. We're going to have 2. 3 times x is 3x. Minus 3 times 3 is what? 9. Remember, if you're multiplying, you multiply the powers. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Which is equals to 2 raised to power. 5 times x is what? 5x. Plus 5 times 2 is what? 10. All over. You have what? 2. Now, 2 times minus x is what? Minus 2x. It's minus 2x. x. So this will be equals to, we have the first one is 3x minus 9, which will be equals to, now do you notice at this here side we have 2 and we have 2. Do you remember the laws of indices, the division law? We have 2 and we have 2. What are we going to do? We are going to pick 1, 2. We are going to pick 1, 2. Now look at this. We have 2, we have 2, pick 1, 2. Now what is the first power? The first power is what? 5x plus 10. Is what? 5x plus 10 is the first power. Now 5x plus 10. Now over to the division sign, it will now change to what? Subtraction. You have what? Minus. Now the next power is what? Minus 2x. Then you now put it inside bracket, minus 2x. Let me explain. If you have 5 raised to power 3x plus 1 over 5 raised to power minus 1. Since you have 5 and you have 5, just pick 1, 5. What is the first power? The first power now is this one. You now write it 3x plus 1. After that, do you remember that division changes to what? Subtraction. You now have what? Minus. This minus is for the division. Then you now enter to the second power. Now, the second power carries minus 1. So, you now put inside bracket as minus 1. Hope you are following. But the minus here is for the division that changes to what? Subtraction. The minus 1 is the value of the power at the denominator. But if you don't have 1, in a situation where you don't have any 1, you only have 5 power 1. Once you write the first power, 3x plus 1, division will change to what? Subtraction. Write it. You now write only 1. But if at the denominator you have minus, you must indicate that minus. So we have now do you notice we now have 2, we now have what? 2. So we can have 3x minus 9 equals to 5x plus 10. Now minus times minus is what? Plus. Then you now write what? 2x. 5x plus 10. Minus times minus is plus. Write your 2x. Now you can equate the power by cancelling the base. So we are going to have 3x minus 9 is equals to 5x plus 10 plus 2x plus 2x. Now collect like terms together. So we are going to have those ones that have x, they should come this side, then the number should go the other side. So we're going to have 3x. If 5x comes here, we have minus 5x. If 2x comes here, we're going to have what? Minus 2x. Remember, there is plus. It will be minus. There is plus here. It will be minus. So this will be equals to, now, 5x and 2x went here. What remains here is what? 10. You have what? 10. Now, if this minus 9 comes this side, it will be what? Plus 9. Now, 3x minus 5x minus 2x will give us what? Minus 4x. So 3x minus 5x minus 2x will give us what? Minus 4x. Minus 4x. Which will be equals to what? 10 plus 9 is what? 19. Is what? 19. Now divide both sides by the coefficient of what? X. And that is what? Minus 4. So divide both sides by what? Minus 4. So minus 4x equals to 19 over minus 4 over minus 4. So cancel, cancel. So our x will be equals to minus 19 over 4. And that is our final answer. So we have minus 19 over 4. Minus 19 over 4. So our option A is what? Correct. So that is how to solve this. So over to question 8. Cube root of 64. R raised to power minus 6, or in brackets raised to power 1 over 2. So here is our options. r over 2, 2r, 1 over 2r, 2 over r. So let's dive deep into it. So solution. Now we notice we have 1 over 2. Remember what I told you about product power law. You need to open the bracket and share everything to them. So we're going to have cube root. Now cube root of what? 64. Now this 64 now, 64. Once you open the bracket, this 1 over 2 will come here. 1 over 2. I believe we all remember. Then this our r, we can put times r raised to power minus 6 times 1 over 2. If you can remember, 1 over 2 we go to 64. The same 1 over 2 we also go for r, product power law. You share everything to everybody. Now this will be equals to cube root. Now 64 now means what? Square root of 64. This 1 over 2 means what? Square root of 64. So we have what? Square root of what? 64 times this our r. We know that 2 can cancel itself to give us 1. 2 go into 6 is what? 3. So we are going to have r minus 3. We are going to have what? R raised to power minus 3. For those that will be asking how, r raised to power minus 6 times 1 over 2. This will be equals to minus, okay, balance everything. Minus 6 times 1 is minus, is what? R raised to power minus 6. 1 times 2 is what? 2. Minus 6 times 1, minus 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 cancel itself is 1. Cancel 6 is what? 3. So you're going to have r raised to power minus 3. So that is what? This r raised to power minus 3. So we're going to have what? Cube root. Now we know that square root of 64 is what? 8. Now here is what? R raised to power minus 3. We have what? R raised to power minus 3. Now, so remember, we can work on the cube root of 8. Then in this r, we make use of what? 1 over 3. Because the cube root of r, this r raised to power minus 3, is same thing as writing what? R raised to power minus 3 times 1 over 3. So we're going to have cube root of what? 8 times r raised to power minus 3 times 1 over 3. If you can remember this, I told you if you are dealing with numbers, just use the roots. If you are dealing with alphabet, introduce what? 1 over 2, 1 over 3, depending on the root, which is what? Cube root. Now, so this will be equals to cube root of 8 is what? 2. Is 2 times. Now, 3 cancel itself is 1, cancel 3 is 1. So we're going to have r minus 1. We're going to have r minus 1. So which is equals to 2r raised to power minus 1. Now, if you look at our option, do we have 2r raised to power minus 1? No. So let's simplify it further. Now, we are going to have 2 times. Do you remember the inverse law? This means 1 over r. Do you remember? If you have r raised to power minus 1, it is 1 over r minus 1 over r. So you're going to have 1 over r. 2 times 1 is what? 2 over what? R. So do you have 2 over r? Yes. Option D. So option D is what? Correct. Simplify 0.008 power 1 over 3. Now this is also very simple to solve. Now look at this. Since we have this decimal, now we're going to convert it to what? Fraction. We're going to convert it to what? Fraction. Now, how do you convert this to fraction? If you have 0.2, or you have 0.002, or you have 0.02, how do you convert this to fraction? It's very simple. Now look at this. If you, from this point, if you count 1, it means 2 over 10. Hope you are following. If you count 1, 2, 3, how many? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. It means what? 2 over 1000. If you count 1, 2, it means what? 2 over 100. So any number you count, if you count 1, 2, it just means 20. If you count 1, 2, 3, it just means what? 30. If you count 1, it means what? 10. Hope you are following. So here we are going to have, since we have 0.008, 0.008 raised to power 1 over 3, this will be equals to, if you count this thing here, 1, 2, 3. So what is the number that we are seeing here? We are seeing 8. So it's going to be 8 over, we count what? 1, 2, 3. So what? Write your 0. 1, 2, 3. Just put 1 at the front. So that is it. If you have 0.05, just count 1, 2. What is number that are seeing? They are seeing 5. Just write 5. How many do you count? 1, 2. Just write 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, and put 1. It means 5 over what? 100. So it's very simple. So we have 8 over 1000, all raised to power 1 over 3. If you press 8 divided by 1000 in your calculator, it will give you what? 0.008. So now we are going to have, now since we have 8 over 1000 raised to power 1 over 3, now let's introduce our roots. What we have here is 3. So meaning that we're going to have what? Cube root of everything here. So we're going to have what? This will be equals to cube root of 8 over 1000. Cube root of 8 over 1000. This will be equals to cube root of what? 8 over what? 1000. Now, cube root of 8 is what? 2 over. Cube root of 1000 is what? 10. I've explained all the whole concept about roots, square root, cube root. So cube root of 8, that is what? Get what? 3 numbers. A particular number. If you multiply that number 3 times, it will give you what? 8. Once you get that number, pick, just write that number. Only one of the number. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. You write 2. Cube root of 1000. 10 times 10 is 100. Times the next 10, give you 1000. Just write 10. So in our option, we do not have any fraction there. The answer is in point. So 2 divided by 10 is what? 0.2. And that is our final answer. So option A is what? Correct. Okay. Over to question 10. We are asked to evaluate 10 raised to power minus x equals to 0.0001. Now, remember, anytime you have something like this, you need to know that you are going to what? Convert it to fraction. That is the starting point. So we are going to have 10 raised to power minus x equals to. Now, to convert this into fraction, counting from this point, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. You are seeing 4. Now, which number are you seeing here? You are seeing 1 as a number. We will write what? 1 over. So when we count this, we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. So just write 0, 0, 0, 0. How many 0 now? 4 0. And put 1. So it means 1 over what? 10,000. So if you're going to have 10 raised to power minus x is equals to. Now, do you remember our reciprocal law, our negative index? 1 over 10,000 means what? 10,000 raised to power minus 1. Do you remember? 10,000 raised to power minus 1. This will turn to what? 1 over. So now we are now going to have 10 raised to power minus x equals to. Now, is there any way we can have 10 here? Remember I told you, anytime you have equals to, always look for a way to ensure that whatever that is here is also what's here. So can we have 10 here? Yes. Now 10 raised to power what will give us what? We give us 10,000. 10 raised to power what will give us what? 10,000. We find out that 10 raised to power 4 will give us what? 10,000. 10 raised to power 4, that is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 will give us what? 10,000. Now look at bracket minus 1. 10 raised to the power of 4 is for the 10,000. Then the minus 1, see the minus 1 here. Remember, you don't need to ignore anything. Here are the options. So we are going to have 10 raised to the power x is equals to 10. Now 4 times minus 1 is what? Minus 4. It's minus 4. So 10 cancel 10. We're going to have x equals to minus 4. That is the final answer. So option A is what? Correct. So with this, we have come to the end of this class. So I'm going to give you assignments.